What's up, folks? Welcome once again to another session of ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch on this glorious start of the week? This is only the second week of January, and kita masih lagi dalam orang kata mood tahun baru tu kan. 2022 has come on upon us, and yeah, it's only been about 10 days. Hopefully, you guys are having a good time in regards of your New Year celebration lah, azam baru lah, resolution, so on and so forth. And hopefully you guys are happy with whatever it is that you do. And I do have to clarify this. Unfortunately, my shirt is in the washer sebab hujan, macam tak sempat nak sidai baju kan. Hence why I'm actually in black. But you tak apa, black tu dia slimming. Black tu dia macam cool, dia macam nampak a bit like James Bondy punya kind of thing. I don't know, I'm making things up anyway. But don't worry, I'll be definitely back in my reds very, very soon. And thank you so much, guys, for actually watching us right now on our, on our official Facebook page at the ACTnow Trooper. You can watch us on every Monday, Wednesday, as well as Friday at 12 p.m. And don't forget to download that ACTnow mobile community app on your Google Play Store as well as your Apple App Store, because of the greatness and the magical thing that that comes with it, with the app. You guys should check it out. You all patut tengok and pelopori sendiri sebenarnya. Test it out yourself and see why we're making such a big fuss about it, why we're making such a big hoo-ha about the glorious app that is the ACTnow mobile community app. And one person I know who always uses the app, yang selalu menggunakan app ni tanpa henti, because he is actually a man of the community. Ladies and gents, Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
Hi. I thought you forgotten for reasons. I text you. You can see in the group. How come you're black? You run out of t-shirt. I will send you more.
That's why I actually counted it, but it is true. Yeah, it has been a bit of a rainy couple of days, right? So tak sempat nak keringkan baju. Tapi tak apa, I akan pakai balik merah tu, don't worry. But at least I got representation of all of us here superbly done as always, Melvin. Hey, Melvin,
Alright.
sorry,
Yeah.
before I nak tanya you about your Friday, I just nak again say thank you so much to Daniel, Nick, for joining us as always, and make sure you guys do share this video because this is definitely going to be something so beneficial for you guys as well as your loved ones out there. Now, coming back to Melvin, you had a very eventful day on Friday after our live show. Again, you went
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and became stronger.
That's right. Right after our show, I was scheduled to have my booster shot at 3:30. I went there a bit earlier.
Hmm.
I spent half an hour there. Uh, but I have to tell you, I was fine. I just feel a bit tired on that day, this evening itself. But I don't know whether it was a jab or because we were made to wait under the hot sun. I mean, of course, we kind of been all these things, but the weather was hot and humid. But everything runs very well. I would say our frontliners always say thank you to them. Right immediately after I got my jab, I posted in the social media, and I say nothing more than a big thank you to our frontliners. Right, that's how we have all these ribbons in our behind our screens. They're effective and they're very so-called cooperative and very friendly. Even that nurse, the Jack me, show me, okay, this is a new vaccine. The vaccines is not unopened, the expiry date, and all these things, And then when I put in the syringes, they will say, okay, this is full. I say, you might have received a lot of complaints, but she just smile, So things went over, and it was a bit tired in the evening. I dozed off early, but on Saturday itself, it's full of energy.
Yeah,
Likewise,
and
my neighbor as
you,
well feel the same. We were on the same. He was just a half an hour later, but we met at the receptions. The night itself, sleep early. Next morning, he went for his golf. And yesterday, nothing. I mean, I was out for my business meeting and all these things. So those people who have been saying that, oh, watch out and all these things, please hear it, but just hear it. Come this year, go out that year. Do not be stressed over it. What happened to me and all these things, I mean, I was not saying it won't happen. Probably it's 1 in a million cases, but do not be so anti or stressed visiting or getting your booster. As last week you say, if we need every 3 months, why not?
Yeah, true. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we are required to. That's what it has. That is what that has been recommended to us, making sure that we get our own armory on. And how do we do that? By getting all these booster shots. We here at ACTnow, I think I can say this, Melvin, that we here at ACTnow, we do support and we do encourage everyone out there to go get their booster shots and get yourself, properly vaccinated throughout. And regardless of whatever the situation is, I know that the fact that COVID right now, hari tu Omicron, betul hari tu ada laporkan ihu pula, ada macam-macam nama pula. But at the end of the day, the vaccine actually works and do all the things that you need to do.
But yesterday I was a bit upset reading the morning news, or was it morning or later? This MP from the East Malaysia asked our DG to resign. He said he's nothing but just a surgeon, and also having doubt on asking YBKJ his program. I think this one wants to have. If I'm in the media, do not bother to carry this person's news because they want to have publicity. I think he's been very quiet for a while and just want to cucuk, right? I think
rather than nak cucuk booster, dia nak cucuk
job. And last evening, he actually said Malaysia is ranked number 6 in terms of recovery worldwide, number 6.
Yeah, those are the things that we need to be proud of. And again, like what Melvin has mentioned, kalau orang nak cucuk kita bukan untuk vaksin, tapi nak cucuk kita nak meningkatkan kemarahan and like stupidity, just leave it behind. I mean, we don't need those kind of things. All we need is positiveness. All we need is proof in the pudding of what people have done, and the proof is already there, and you don't need to justify yourself anymore because again, they are doing such a good job. And Again,
Yeah.
I think I'm also okay. I'm also right in saying that we at ACTnow, so we support KJ, our Minister of Health, and we also support our DG, Director
Yeah.
General of the Ministry of Health, which is Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham, for doing as best as they could. Granted, ada juga
Yeah.
orang dekat luar tu yang tak nak dengar cakap, yang nak buat party lah, yang nak buat reggae lah, yang nak buat whatever. Itu individu punya pasal, bukan kementerian punya pasal, bukan menteri punya pasal, bukan DG punya pasal. Itu individu, something wrong inside there, which we cannot do anything. Jumping on to the first topic that
All
we
right.
want to talk about today. Yes, we have been hit with the global pandemic for the past 2 years now. Semenjak bulan March 2020, a lot of things that they have not come into normality yet. A lot of things
Mm.
had to be changed around, and then ada complain harga barangan naik, harga sayur naik, harga buah naik, harga gula naik, harga tepung naik, harga minyak naik, semua harga naik lah, standard lah. Whenever there's a phenomenon that happens all around the world, harga barang akan naik. But one more thing that naik juga harga is that the employment, or should I say the application to get helpers into our own homes. Kita dah standard dah, middle age to upper class Malaysians, we are used to actually having maids working with us at home, whether they're Indonesian, whether they're Vietnamese, Filipinos, so on and so forth. But it's a bit of a culture that we have over here in Malaysia, that we do tend to have a maid. Maybe one in 20 houses or one in 50 houses, we have a maid that we
Yeah.
employ to take care of our home. But it has been reported in the papers, due to the pandemic, due to COVID-19, it would cost you 5 figures just to get the maid out the door and into your house. Belum cerita pasal gaji dia lagi. Melvin, 5 figure ni, 5 angka,
Yes.
that's
Yeah. I
a
mean,
lot, man.
10,000 also. I mean, if it's 10,000, it's also 5 figures. But this is ridiculous. The cost of getting a maid now for prospective employers is about 20,000 ringgit to 25,000 ringgit.
Hmm.
You know, and beside that, if because during pandemic they need when you have successfully hired a maid, when they come in, you have to quarantine them, and it could be as high of 3,000 ringgit per maid, and the recruitment fees can go up now to 25,000 ringgit per maid. And of course, obviously, is the excuse of because during the pandemic, you know. And last 2 days, I think immigration has declared their fees is just merely 11 to 1,200 ringgit. You know, the charges. So I'm asking, how come there's such a huge differences? Is someone out there monopolizing the whole issues? I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot from the survey, a lot of employer have feel comfortable in paying 1,500 ringgit per month for the maid, because taking into consideration of inflation, and they feel that 1,500 is satisfied. But to bring in that cost you that 20 to 25,000, that is without the quarantine costs, I think someone has been benefited it a lot.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that the 20,000 ringgit admission, or should I say the registration fee, does not include quarantine costs?
Does not.
Okay, now that's where I draw the line actually, because why? Like you said, I mean, like human resources, Ministry of Human Resources, as well as the Malaysia government has declared, as you
Mm,
said, the cost of getting a maid coming in maybe cost between 1,200 to 1,500 lah, katakanlah 1,500 ringgit to get the
mm.
maid come across. Kalau nak bayar dia punya tiket flight, kalau nak bayar dia punya quarantine, maybe
Okay.
about, kan sekarang kalau you dah fully vaccinated, you hanya
Mm,
duduk 7 hari saja. Kalau 7 hari, satu malam katakan you ambil RM200, baru 1,400. Campur situ,
yeah,
paling-paling kuat we're looking at maybe nak campur buat duit visa dah what not,
yeah,
7-8 ribu lah, katakan even 10 lah. I don't mind going with 10, but the fact that
yeah.
they can actually hike it up to 20 to 25,000. Ni maid apa? Are we getting Miss Universe as a maid or what? I mean, like, is
No,
this is just,
sorry. Even we get Miss Universe from Indonesia, that of course there are all beauties in Indonesia, but the salaries they are getting is only 1,500.
yeah,
So these are the middlemen,
okay.
you know. And I think the government should step in. You know, you should control these prices. You know, a
Yeah.
lot I mean, it's can become essential. It means our basic like rice, sugar, flour, you can control it. I think you better control these agencies, the charges as well.
Yeah, and because we're talking about live-in mates, I mean, like again, having a basic salary of between 1,002 to 1,005. I mean, as long as I had the experience of having mates before. So basically, for the mate, they come here, they have a bed to sleep in. They have a room to sleep in. They have we as should I say what majikan lah kan we
Yeah,
as the guy who are employing these mates, we pay for their food because they can eat whatever it is that's from the fridge, from the cupboard,
mm,
and then we even buy them their their soap, sabun, shampoo and
yeah,
whatnot. So basically gaji yang dia dapat tu is purely directly
clean.
goes for the they don't yeah, it's clean because they don't have to pay for anything else. Api, air, everything, all
Mm,
the majikan is paying. So I don't really see a lot in regards of demanding in that sense. Again, I mean like 1005 when you think about it, it's not really that big of a number, but you have to factor in whatever it is that the bosses, or should I say the people who are hiring the maids, are giving as well. I think it
yeah,
comes back to maybe a value of totality 2,200 even. Campur rental, campur apa benda semua everything kan?
yeah. So if these agencies who are just have has this license to recruit and I mean abusing it, I mean capitalize on it, I think that should be a stop to it. So we have actually two persons actually share the experience. This is from Mr. Businessman, Mr. Uy. He says that the plans to employ a maid to care for his two daughters, aged 8 months and 3 years. Say the 1,500 ringgit minimum salary is reasonable given the cost of being the cost of living today. He said Malaysians must change their mentality and accept the required income of maids. However, Mr. Uy felt that the fees to bring in domestic helpers is too high and should be reduced, right? So he actually plead to the government it's too expensive and the government should revise and reduce it immediately, which is, yeah, because immigration say, yeah, we are only charging for our administration for 11 to 1,200 ringgit. But where's the difference of the 90% goes to? Who this money goes to who? You know?
So ini sebenarnya Marvin, this proves that I mean like human trafficking makes a lot of money,
Yeah, so government should classify this as actually under human trafficking.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, like all jokes aside, you are dealing with human beings. Granted, it is a
Yeah,
service that these
yeah,
agencies are providing, but then again, it needs to come and it needs to be logical. It needs to be, yeah. Again, I mean, like standard lah. Kalau kita buat event, contohnya, event companies, there's always cost to it in regards of services, all of this. They put in 20-30% in regards of management services, admission, and whatnot. But why does it take a lot? I mean, a lot of money. Because why? Okay, this is just speculation on my side.
yeah.
Purely speculation. You bukan saja bayar token dekat Malaysia tau, tapi you bayar token
Mm,
dekat Indon, you bayar token dekat the Philippines, you bayar token
mm.
dekat Thailand. There's a lot of parties that you had to
Yeah.
pay off to. I think so. I think that's the
So
issue.
I guess the governments of respective country, the
Mm.
importer, the exporter, please, the so-called the maids from your country actually brings money to your country, it's income to your country. So you should not let the middleman profit from it. Otherwise, everyone will cut off. I mean, another example, this is a school teacher who once known as 195. Say she would consider stopping these services because when she pay, it's only during the contract period, probably 2 years to 3 years. She have to fork out another 20-25,000 for for a new contract. So she said that my maid's working permit is expiring soon. Guess I have to do away with the maid for now as it's too pricey to secure their services. So what she does is to use hourly maids to do house chores like me. I will use hourly maid to do weekly to clean up the house. But the problem was that who look after the elderly, like this lady, she has an elderly mother that no one take care. So the governments have to look into all these considerations. Sometimes it's not because we love to have the maid, because honestly, you have to. That's what you say, Mio. You have to provide them a lodging, the basic necessities and all these things. So it will take out space in the house.
Yeah, correct.
Not
And
everyone live
ini
in the mansions, you know.
And ini tak campur lagi, Melvin. The fact that there are some, I'm not saying all, but there are some maids out there that will run like unannounced and just hilang like that. You know, that's
Oh,
the scary
that
bit.
is a very common. My friends has all these
Yeah. Imagine
issues.
spending that much of money, 25,000, 30,000, whatever it is, and the maid stays with you nothing more than 4 months and suddenly she disappears.
I have this
Imagine that.
story. I mean, from my friend who was captured. Her maid's run was captured on CCTV. Uh, so of course, evening and night, everything is closed, the door. So she actually went through, not climbing up the gate. She used the Buon Samba gate. You know, by the house side of the gate, you have this
Uh-huh. That
those
small one lah.
small. Yeah, he actually went through that one. That was
Wow. I mean, we cannot also deny the fact that there are some. Again, I need to emphasize here. There are some cases out there where maids are being mistreated. There have been reports where maids have been, abused physically, mentally
yes,
as
yes.
well. They're not given enough food. They're not treated as a human being. They're left like
Oh
in a
yeah.
dog house and whatnot. Because again, I mean, it's human. Again, I want to put this up because apparently this is my catchphrase. It's actually common sense when it comes to it. Whichever side that you're looking at, all it takes is a normal human being to look into the situation where both parties need to be on the win-win side. Majikan dia pun kadang-kadang bodoh juga, Marvin. That's the thing.
I, I have three cases I can remember. It's still fresh in my mind. There's one incident in the north where this old granny forced the maid to sleep outside the compound with the dog and not giving enough food to eat. And she actually shared the floor with the dog. It's
Wow.
captured in the picture. It was complained by the neighbor. And then when authority came, the neighbor cannot tahan. She was so weak, she died a few days after when she was hospitalized. So the granny was charged in court, but somehow or rather she was walk free.
Really?
Right?
On what grounds?
Came out in the paper. All right. And the reason one, as far as a month ago, this is in KL, this is still a case where the Indonesian ambassador is acting on behalf of this lady to sue this nursery who's not been paying her maid for years.
Yeah.
And you are the no, and listen to me. It came out in the paper, and this nursery sued back the maid because she left without giving 2 weeks notice.
Okay. All right. So many things to say, and my head just hurts. When I hear this kind. I mean, like it's
we are all humans. Do not take your mates as a slave.
yeah.
We are here to earn a decent living. Treat them well. Talk to them. They also sometimes have mental stress because they left the family behind. But do not abuse in the sense like I don't know, sleep on the compound with the dog, do not feed her well, and force her to work something like 20 hours a day, and don't pay her for years. And now she managed to run away, go to embassies, and embassies taking actions, and then this majikan sue her back because she left without giving a 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. That Tan Sri must have employed a very, very good lawyer lah. But if I'm the lawyer who is taking this case, I think I will just I will hit
hope
myself.
no lawyers, yes. In the name of humanity, please, I know probably this Dansri pays you. In the name of humanity, to not take this case.
Yeah, it's just stupid. I mean, like it's stupidity on so many levels when it comes to it. But problem with that, I mean, like okay, I know we're jumping a bit off topic here, but we do want to also clarify that these kind of things, when these things happen, sometimes or most of the time, it's always the he said she said kind of thing because there's no actual concrete proof. Kadang-kadang dia cakap aja and then kawan tu akan rebut balik, no, I actually paid, those kind of things. And more often or not, when it comes to credibility, people will be siding with the more prominent Tan Sri-ish figure rather than a maid, from a foreign country working in Malaysia. That is the sad part about
No,
these.
another thing I want to add on. Don't take your mate as a sex object. You know
Oh,
what I mean? There's so many cases.
yeah. That's why you always hire maid who are at least 20 years older than you. So that's the trick.
I
And
think
ugly,
the,
the
the, the
ugliest you
wife
can
should insist. The wife should insist.
and the ugliest that you can find. You find the oldest maid and the ugliest maid that you can find on this God's earth and hire that maid because yeah, that would be the safest bet that you can actually live on. Okay, we have actually spoken a lot about this thing. Yeah, but we do want to hope that this particular problem do
Yeah.
get resolved very quickly because again, like it or not, we Malaysians we need this kind of help and our sisters and our sisters down in Indonesia they have always been the friends, the friend who are, always helping us down, giving us domestic maid. We promise that we will take care of it. I promise I'll take care of the maid as long as they are, like super older and uglier, lah. Just putting it out there.
I think my
Okay,
wife listen to this program.
yeah, she's downstairs actually. All right, now let's jump to about Act Now and the community. Again, the happiness and the coolness and the magical thing about our app, the Act Now mobile community app. You guys can actually download it on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. Because while you can actually report any incidents or anything that has happened within your community, very simple, just by a few clicks of the button, and your response, or should I say, your report will be always anonymous. People would not know who you are, and then your report will be looked into by the proper authorities. And this time around, we want to highlight a video. Let me just share this video first, and then Melvin, you comment what this is all about. Here we go. All right. I think this is the Kanchil that I took my driving license before. La. It looks the same. La.
So it's a vintage car. So it was
Yeah.
reported that recently this car was abandoned there for months.
Hmm.
It's in Colombo. I tell you, we have a lot of abandoned cars everywhere. Please, those who listens to this program, please share this and take action yourself. Report to us. So the investigation was done and a compound was issued. So ask them, giving them a simulated day to remove it. So in that condition, when the second investigations to come in, because the due date, DBK reported the car was actually driven away. The owner actually took it elsewhere. It means that it was left there abandoned, but it was still working. So they just put a notice that please remove this within this period, otherwise we come and tow it.
So the owner, the car still had an owner and the car was still working and it was drove off when it was reported.
Yes.
After being left there.
When a compound was issued.
Okay. So when it comes to leftover cars and abandoned cars and everything, I sebenarnya takut one thing, Marvin, because some of these cars, again, I need to emphasize it, not all, obviously, just a small percentage, minuscule of these cars were involved in unlawful activities, crimes and whatnot. Hence why a lot of these criminals, they actually use these kind of cars and then they just leave it abandoned there and there because it is connected back to them. But the fact that this car was even, being drove away, the car looked fine anyway. The car didn't look as if it was like,
if you abandon it and it's still working and you do not use it, probably you have a better cars right now, just sell it.
Yeah. Even if you can't sell it to a used car salesman, at least you jual dekat tempat besi buruk, dapat duit juga kan? Besi mahal sekarang.
Or you just, if it's legal, just give it for a good cause to all those NGO who needs cars to travel around.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it has proper documentation and tidak and tak pernah terlibat dengan apa-apa crimes lah. That's all we want lah.
This came out last week. I think down south, someone sold a Proton Saga for ringgit because the man who want to deliver foods to the fruit victims doesn't have a car, transport. So this good Samaritan actually is in working conditions. Ringgit or ringgit came out to paper, so he has this car and can do his good deeds. He was actually pack coke and pack foods and distribute foods for the victims. We have a lot of good people around. It's just like what's that? Some people make things so I mean, ridiculous. You hear about it, you feel sick. That dancer not paying the start of her maid for a few years.
Maybe for Act Now moving forward, Melvin, maybe we should also highlight more of this great people that's outside there. It's easy to highlight dumb people. I mean, we highlight stupid people every day. Maybe, moving forward, we can actually highlight more achievements of what great
Yeah,
humans, great Malaysians have actually
I'm,
done within our community. I think we should
I'm trying to
actually.
convince more people to be. A lot of people are trying to go online, to go
Mm,
live. You
yeah.
know, I have met a group of friends. I'm self involved as well on animal level. I'm trying to convince them to become live, and they these are the people that probably live in a rich area, but they come around at night evening to feed the stray dogs, cats. They take things. They have this love, and one of the day that they actually show in the video and sent to us, this lady cooked nasi biryani with chicken and
W-
beef for the strays.
Wow. I pun tak makan nasi biryani lately. Dia actually masak nasi biryani for the strays. Wow.
Yes,
That
with
is
chickens and
awesome.
beef. And she showed a video. She actually go around and feed the strays.
Very atas one, the strays, not bad. I mean, like these are the good Samaritans that we have in Malaysia actually, and we need to give them, the utmost support and the
Yeah,
utmost
yeah.
gratitude as well. Because without these people, only the
Mm,
stupid and the dumb ones that are being mentioned, and that's not fair. We need
yeah,
to highlight
yeah.
the great people.
We need
And
to so-called pay tribute. We still have to honor those people who are actually they are the silencer, doing good things.
yeah.
But I need to convince them because of them. They should encourage more people to be like them.
Exactly. We should do
Yeah,
that. We should do that next time
yeah,
around. Okay, that's it for now for today's
yeah.
episode. Melvin will definitely come back. I'm gonna get my jab tomorrow. Hopefully by Wednesday, I can
Yes,
also be a superhuman. Hopefully.
yes. You'll be fine. Not to worry. You'll be fine.
All right,
Let's
man. I'll see
let's
you on
see you on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that was Melvin together with myself, sharing with you the latest issues, the hot issues that's happening in Malaysia. And to answer one of the questions from our fellow viewers, Typhoon actually will be falling on the 18th of February. That means about 1, 2, 3, 4, a week ish from today. So yeah, early days for that. We don't want to wish Typhoon yet, sebab belum lagi. But definitely, we're definitely gonna wish to all of you guys who are celebrating Typhoon to have a glorious and great celebration as well in a lowly manner. We don't want to have another new version of variants. Late sangat dah. Miolan here signing out. Hope you guys had a great time today and hope you guys have a great lunch. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Take care now. Goodbye.